Ayub, part 3. I'm not sure exactly where we are, number and verse-wise, but it looks like we start with, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If it be not he, who then is it? Now my days are swifter than a post. They flee away, they see no good. They are passed away as the swift ships, as the eagle that swoopeth on the prey. If I say I will forget my complaint, I will put off my sad countenance and be of good cheer. I am afraid of all my sorrows. I know that thou wilt not hold me innocent. I shall be condemned. Why then do I labor in vain if I wash myself with snow water and make my hands never so clean? Yet wilt thou plunge me in the ditch, and mine own clothes shall abhor me, for he is not a man as I am, that I should answer him, that we should not come together in judgment. There is no daysman betwixt us, that might lay his hand upon us both. Let him take his rod away from me, and let not his terror make me afraid. Then would I speak and not fear him, for I am not so in myself. My soul is weary of my life. I will give free course as to my complaint. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul. I will say unto God, do not condemn me. Show me wherefore thou contendest with me. Is it good unto thee that thou shouldest oppress, that thou shouldest despise the work of thine hands, and shine upon the counsel of the wicked? Hast thou eyes of flesh, or seest thou as man seeth? Are the days as the days of man? Are thy years as a man's days, that thou inquirest after mine iniquity, and searcheth after my sin?" Well, yeah, don't fault find others. Perfect yourself, Although thou knowest that I am not wicked, and there is none that can deliver out of thine hand, thine hands have framed me and fashioned me together round about, yet thou dost destroy me. Remember, I beseech thee, that thou hast fashioned me as clay, and wilt thou bring me into dust again? Hast thou not poured me out as milk, and curdled me like cheese? Thou hast clothed me with skin and flesh, and knit me together with bones and sinews. Thou hast granted me life and favor, and thy visitation hath preserved my spirit. Yet these things thou didst hide in thine heart. I know that this is with thee. If I sin, then thou markest me, and thou wilt not acquit me for mine iniquity. If I be wicked, woe unto me. If I be righteous, yet shall I not lift up my head, being filled with ignominy, being filled with ignominy, and looking upon mine affliction. And if my head exalt itself, thou huntest me as a lion, and again thou showest thyself marvelous upon me. For many, a lion is a symbol of the Jews. It's symbolic of the Jews, but thou renewest thy witness is against me, and increaseth thine indignation upon me. Changes and warfare are with me. Wherefore then hast thou brought me forth out of the womb? I had given up the ghost, and no eye had seen me. I should have been as though I had not been. I should have been carried from the womb to the grave. Are not my days few? Cease then, and let me alone, that I may take comfort a little, before I go whence I shall not return. Even to the land of darkness and of the shadow of death, a land of thick darkness, as darkness itself, a land of the shadow of death without any order, and where the light is as darkness. Safar the Nam Athim. I'm not sure the spelling, so. Should not the multitude of words be answered, and should a man full of talk be justified? Should thy boastings make men hold their peace, and when thou mockest, thou shall no man make thee ashamed. For thou sayest, my doctrine is pure, and I am clean in thine eyes. But oh, that God would speak, and open his lips against thee, and that he would show thee the secrets of wisdom, that is manifold and effectual working. Know therefore that God exacteth of thee less than thine iniquity deserveth. Canst thou by searching find out God? Canst thou find out the Almighty unto perfection? It is high as heaven. What canst thou do? Deeper than Sheol. What canst thou know? The measure thereof is longer than the earth, and broader than the sea. If he pass through and shut up and call unto judgment, then who can hinder him? For he knoweth vain men. He seeketh iniquity also, even though he consider it not. But vain man is void of understanding. Yea, man is born as a wild donkey's colt. And if thou set thine heart aright, and stretch out thine hands toward him, if iniquity be in thine hand, put it far away, and let not unrighteousness dwell in thy tents. Surely then shalt thou lift up thy face without spot. Yea, thou shalt be steadfast, and shalt not fear, for thou shalt forget thy misery. Thou shalt remember it as waters that are passed away, and thy life shall be clearer than the noonday. Though there be darkness, it shall be as the morning, and thou shalt be secure because there is hope. Yea, thou shalt search about thee, and shalt take thy rest in safety. Also thou shalt lie down, and none shall make thee afraid. Yea, many shall make suit unto thee, but the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and they shall have no way to flee, and their hope shall be the giving up of the ghost. Ayub's supposed to have said, no doubt, but ye are the people, and wisdom shall die with you. But I have understanding as well as you. I'm not inferior to you. Yea, who knoweth not such things as these? I am as one as that is a laughing stock to his neighbor, a man that called upon God, and he answered him. The just, the perfect man, is a laughing stock, and the thought of him that is at ease there is contempt for misfortune. It is ready for them whose foot slippeth. The tents of robbers prosper, and they that provoke God are secure, into whose hand God bringeth abundantly. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee, or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee. And the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee, who knoweth not in all these, that the hand of God is noun and verb, wrought this, in whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind. Doth not the ear try words, even as the palate tasteth its meat? With aged men is wisdom, and in length of days understanding. With him is wisdom and might. He hath counsel and understanding. Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. He shutteth up a man, and there can be no opening. Behold, he withholdeth the waters, and they dry up. Again he sendeth them out, and they overturn the earth. With him is strength and effectual working. The deceived and the deceiver are his. He leadeth counselors away spoiled, and judges maketh he fools. He looseth the bonds of kings, and bindeth their loins with a girdle. He leadeth priests away spoiled, and overthroweth the mighty. He removeth the speeches of the trusty, and taketh away the understanding of the elders. He poureth contempt upon princes, and looseth the belt of the strong. He discovereth deep things out of the darkness, and bringeth out to light the shadows of death. He increaseth the nations and destroyeth them. He spreadeth the nations abroad and bringeth them in. He taketh away the heart of the chiefs of the people of the earth, and causeth them to wander into a wilderness where there is no way. They grope in the dark without light, and he maketh them to stagger like a drunken man. Lo, mine eye hath seen all this. Mine ear hath heard and understood it. What ye know, the same do I know also. I am not inferior unto you. Surely I would speak to the Almighty, and I desire to reason with God. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Oh, that ye would altogether hold your peace, and it should be your wisdom. Hear now my reasoning, and hearken to the pleadings of my lips. Will ye speak unrighteously for God, and talk deceitfully for him? Will ye respect his person? Will ye contend for God? Is it good that he should search you out? Or as one deceiveth a man, will ye deceive him? He will surely reprove you. If ye do secretly respect persons, shall not his excellency make you afraid, and his dread fall upon you? Your memorable sayings are proverbs of ashes. Your defenses are defenses of clay. Hold your peace, let me alone, that I may speak, and let come on me what will. Wherefore should I take my flesh in my teeth, and put my life in mine hand? Though he slay me, yet will I wait for him. Nevertheless, I will maintain my ways before him. This also shall be my salvation, for a godless man shall not come before him. Hear diligently my speech, and let my declaration be in your ears. Behold, now I have ordered my cause. I know that I am righteous. Who is he that will contend with me? For now shall I hold my peace, and give up the ghost. Only do not two things unto me. Then will I not hide myself from thy face. Withdraw thine hand far from me, and let not thy terror make me afraid. Then call thou, and I will answer, or let me speak, and answer thou me. How many are mine iniquities and sins? Make me to know my transgression and my sin. Wherefore hidest thou thy face, and holdest me for thine enemy? Wilt thou harass a driven leaf, and wilt thou pursue the dry stubble? For thou writest bitter things against me, and makest me to inherit the iniquities of my youth. Thou puttest my feet also in the stocks, and markest all my paths. Thou drawest thee a line about the soles of my feet. Though I am like a rotten thing that consumeth, like a garment that is moth-eaten, man that is born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble. He cometh forth like a flower and is cut down. He fleeth also as a shadow and continueth not. And dost thou open thine eyes upon such a one, and bringest me into judgment with thee? Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months is with thee, and thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Look away from him, that he may rest, till he shall accomplish as a hireling his day. For there is hope of a tree, if it be cut down, that it will sprout again, and that the tender branch thereof will not cease. Though the root thereof wax old in the earth, and the stalk thereof die in the ground, yet through the scent of water it will bud, and put forth boughs like a plant. But man dieth and wasteth away. Yea, man giveth up the ghost. Where is he? As the waters fail from the sea, and the river decayeth and drieth up, so man lieth down and riseth not. Till the heavens be no more, they shall not awake, nor be roused out of their sleep. Oh, that thou wouldest hide me in Sheol, that thou wouldest keep me secret until thy wrath be past, that thou wouldest appoint me a set time, and remember me. If a man die, shall he live again? All the days of my warfare would I wait, till my release should come. Thou shouldest call, and I would answer thee. Thou wouldest have a desire to the work of thine hands, but now thou numberest my steps. Dost thou not watch over my sin? My transgression is sealed up in a bag, and thou fastenest up mine iniquity. And surely the mountain falling cometh to naught, and the rock is removed out of its place. The waters where the stones, the overflowings thereof, wash away the dust of the earth. And thou destroyest the hope of man. Thou prevailest forever against him as he passeth. Thou changest his countenance, and sendest him away. His sons come to honor, and he knoweth it not. And they are brought low, but he perceiveth not of them. But his flesh upon him hath pain, and his soul within him mourneth. Part 2. Eliphaz the Temanim. Should a wise man make answer with vain knowledge, and fill his belly with the east wind? Should he reason with unprofitable talk, or with speeches wherewith he can do no good? Yea, thou doest away with fear, and restrainest devotion before God, for thine iniquity teacheth thy mouth, and thou choosest the tongue of the crafty. Thine own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yea, thine own lips testify against thee. Art thou the first man that was born? Or wast thou brought forth before the hills? Hast thou heard the secret counsel of God? And dost thou restrain wisdom to thyself? What knowest thou that we know not? What understandest thou which is not in us? With us are both the grey-headed and the very aged men, much elder than thy father. Are the consolations of God too small for thee, and the word that dealeth gently with thee? Why doth thine heart carry thee away, and why do thine eyes wink, that thou turnest thy spirit against God, and lettest such words go out of thy mouth? What is man, that he should be clean? There's always something out of our experience, isn't there? Somebody somewhere that's done better with at least something. And he which is born of a woman, that he should be righteous, behold, he putteth no trust in his holy ones. Yea, the heavens are not clean in his sight. How much less one that is abominable and corrupt, a man that drinketh iniquity like water? I will show thee, hear thou me. And that which I have seen I will declare, which wise men have told from their fathers, and have not hid it, unto whom alone the land was given, and no stranger passed among them. The wicked man travaileth with pain all his days, even the number of years that are laid up for the oppressor. A sound of terrors is in his ears. In prosperity the spoiler shall come upon him. He believeth not that he shall return out of darkness, and he is waited for of the sword. He wandereth abroad for bread, saying, Where is it? He knoweth that the day of darkness is ready at his hand. Distress and anguish make him afraid. They prevail against him as a king ready to the battle, because he hath stretched out his hand against God, and behaved himself proudly against the Almighty. He runneth upon him with a stiff neck, with the thick bosses of his bucklers, because he hath covered his face with his fatness, and made collops of fat on his flanks. And he hath dwelt in desolate cities, in houses which no man inhabited, which were ready to become heaps. He shall not be rich, neither shall his substance continue, neither shall their produce bend to the earth. He shall not depart out of darkness. The flame shall dry up his branches, and by the breath of his mouth shall he go away. Let him not trust in vanity, deceiving himself, for vanity shall be his recompense. It shall be accomplished before his time, and his branch shall not be green. He shall shake off his unripe grape as the vine, and shall cast off his flower as the olive. For the company of the godless shall be barren, and fire shall consume the tents of bribery. They conceive mischief, and bring forth iniquity, and their belly prepareth deceit. Ayub is supposed to have replied here, I have heard many such things. Miserable comforters are ye all. Shall vain words have an end? Or what provoketh thee that thou answerest? I also could speak as ye do. If your souls were in my soul's stead, I could join words together against you, and shake mine head at you. But I would strengthen you with my mouth, and the solace of my lips should assuage your grief. And we really don't know what it's totally like for others, right? Though I speak, my grief is not assuaged, and though I forbear, what am I eased? But now he hath made me weary. Thou hast made desolate all my company, and thou hast laid fast hold on me, which is a witness against me, and my leanness riseth up against me. It testifieth to my face. He hath torn me in his wrath, and persecuted me. He hath gnashed upon me with his teeth. Mine adversary sharpeneth his eyes upon me. They have gaped upon me with their mouths. They have smitten me upon the cheek reproachfully. They gather themselves together against me. God delivereth me to the ungodly, and casteth me into the hands of the wicked. I was at ease, and he broke me asunder. Yea, he hath taken me by the neck, and dashed me to pieces. He hath also set me up for his mark. His archers compass me round about. He cleaveth my reins asunder, and doth not spare. He poureth out my gall upon the ground. He breaketh me with the breach upon breach. He runneth upon me like a giant. I have sewed sackcloth upon my skin, and have laid my horn in the dust. My face is foul with weeping, and on my eyelids is the shadow of death. Although there is no violence in mine hands, and my prayer is pure, O earth, cover not thou my blood, and let my cry have no resting place. Even now, behold, my witness is in heaven, and he that voucheth for me is on high. My friends scorn me, but mine eye poureth out tears unto God. Are they using Elohim here? So, divinity. Sort of a quantitative plural to the polytheist and qualitative plural to the monotheist. Linguistically, it can be used to take both sides depending on your context, right? That he would maintain the right of a man with God. Yeah, it's not the same as saying gods, but yeah. And of a son of man with his neighbor. For when a few years are come, I shall go the way whence I shall not return. My spirit is consumed, my days are extinct, the grave is ready for me, surely there are mockers with me, and mine eye abideth in their provocation. Give now a pledge, be surety for me with thyself. Who is there that will strike hands with me? For thou hast hid their hearts from understanding, therefore shalt thou not exalt them. He that denounceth his friends for prey, even the eyes of his children shall fail. He hath made me also a byword of the people, and I am become an open abhorring. Mine eye also is dim by reason of sorrow, and all my members are as a shadow. Upright men shall be astonished at this, and the innocent shall stir up himself against the godless. Yet shall the righteous hold on his way, and he that hath clean hands shall wax stronger and stronger. But return ye, all of you, and come now, and I shall not find a wise man among you. My days are past, my purposes are broken off, even the thoughts of my heart. They change the night into day. The light, say they, is near unto the darkness. If I look for Sheol as mine house, if I have spread my couch in the darkness, if I have said to corruption, thou art my father, to the worm, thou art my mother, and my sister, where then is my hope? And as for my hope, who shall see it? It shall go down to the bars of Sheol. Sheol is one of the names of hell. One of the other ones is, I guess it goes beyond that, but Garaba, Garip, Gilgal. Once there is rest in the dust. Bildad the Shuhim. How long will ye lay snares for words? Consider, and afterwards we will speak. Wherefore are we counted as beasts? There's satanic groups that talk about the warsh, or the becoming the beast self. Not the same thing as the animal nature that we all have. It's a little it's deeper, more insidious than that. But and are become unclean in your sight, thou that tearest thyself in thine anger. Shall the earth be forsaken for thee? Or shall the rock be removed out of its place? Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tent, and his lamp above him shall be put out. The steps of his strength shall be straitened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon the toils. A gin shall take him by the heel, and a snare shall take hold on him. A noose is hid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and shall chase him at his heels. His strength shall be hunger-bitten, and calamity shall be ready for his halting. It shall devour the members of his body. Yea, the firstborn of death shall devour his members. Doesn't the book of Revelation kind of talk about the firstborn of the dead? The firstborn of death shall devour his members. So a Christian might interpret this as Jesus consuming him, rather than consuming the body of Christ. I laughed because I thought that, a bit funny. But he shall be rooted out of his tent wherein he trusteth, and he shall be brought into the king, to the King of terrors. There shall dwell in his tent that which is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness, and chased out of the world. He shall have neither son nor son's son among his people, nor any remaining where he sojourned. They that come after shall be astonished at his day, as they that went before were affrighted. Okay, I read that as two words. Well, you see that it almost looks like two, like there's a space in between. Surely such are the dwellings of the unrighteous, and this is the place of him that knoweth not God. Ayub said, it was supposed to have said, how long will ye vex my soul, and break me in pieces with words? These 10 times have ye reproached me. Ye are not ashamed that ye deal hardly with me, and be it indeed that I have erred, mine error remaineth with myself. If indeed ye will magnify yourselves against me, and plead against me my reproach, know now that God hath subverted me in my cause, and hath compassed me with his net. Behold, I cry out of wrong, but I am not heard. I cry for help, but there is no judgment. He hath fenced up my way, that I cannot pass, and hath set darkness in my paths. He hath stripped me of my glory, and hath taken the crown from my head. He hath broken me down on every side, and I am gone. And mine hope hath he plucked up like a tree. He hath also kindled his wrath against me, and he counteth me unto him as one of his adversaries. His troops come on together, and cast up their way against me, and encamp round about my tent. He hath put my brethren far from me, and mine acquaintance are wholly estranged from me. My kinsfolk have failed, and my familiar friends have forgotten me. They that dwell in mine house and my maids count me for a stranger. I am an alien in their sight. I call unto my servant, and he giveth me no answer. Though I entreat him with my mouth, my breath is strange to my wife. And my supplication to the children of my mother's womb, even young children despise me. If I arise, they speak against me. All my inward friends abhor me, and they whom I loved are turned against me. My bone cleaveth to my skin and to my flesh, and I am escaped with the skin of my teeth. Have pity on me, O ye my friends, for the hand of divinity hath touched me. Why do ye persecute me as divinity? Yeah, you got to be careful of claiming that you're, that I'm acting on behalf of God. And are not satisfied with my flesh. Oh, that my words were now written. Oh, that they were inscribed in a book, that with an iron pen and lead they were graven in the rock forever. But I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that I shall stand upon the last upon the earth. And after my skin hath been thus destroyed, yet from my flesh shall I see divinity, whom I shall see for myself, and mine eyes shall behold, and not another. My reins are consumed with me.